Okay, this is another specialty quilt I'm working on. And this is an eagle. It's one of those quilts that is a quilt without corners. And I'm using this pattern to go in the wings. And this is going to be quite a large area here that will be to quilt. Now the eagle body will be right in this area, so I'll quilt that, stitch around certain areas, but I need something in here. And what I'm doing is I'm going to do a crosshatch, and this is going to be curved. Then there are 4-inch strips in here. They're wedge shaped, about 4 inches across, and then they come down around 19 to 20 inches long, and they're about 3/4 to 1 inch wide at this narrow end. So when I get all these arcs quilted in, I will just divide these up, and I will go ahead and finish the crosshatch. And it probably won't be just a straight crosshatch. But what I'm doing now is working on the outer edge. This is a round quilt. The edge of the quilt is right out here, 1/4 of an inch. And I'm using P2P line. And I started here, and I clicked points and went to the left. Then I went back and used Alt-A to draw an arc. And then I went to the center to the right, and I've clicked points. And what I'm going to do, these are individual segments. Each segment is individual. And I did it that way, and I'll show you why. I went on P2P, made sure it was in P2P line, clicked a point, hit stop. Click this point, hit stop. The same thing, just continue on. That way I would have individual segments of this arc. Now I'm going to go and use Alt-A, and I'm going to make sure my end snap is turned on, and it is turned on. And here's what will happen. I click, I let it snap to that point, then I go and snap to this point and that point. Now that gives me an arc. Then I'll go back, snap to this point, and to the next point. Gotta have an arc. I'll go again here, and this point, and I've got a nice smooth arc. All I need to do now is get rid of those P2P lines. I'll just delete them and get them all deleted. Then I'm going to select this arc. Now there's several different parts to it. Say it says here, next, and everything. So what I'm going to do is select that, and I'm going to combine it. Combine group. Now it just has a start and an end, and it was stitched that way. It won't have any breaks in it as far as slowing down because it's connected. This arc is sewn, and now what I'll do is measure from this point along this arc down an inch, and I'll mark all of these in several places along, and I'll go back and use P2P, and I'll make my segments to click on to make the arc. Okay, I'm going to start clicking the P2P points for this next arc that I'm going to sew. I'm going to click over to the P2P icon. There's my first point, and I'm following right along. Okay, I had to start over here. I'm going to get my P2P icon. Okay, there's my first point. And there's my second point. Hit stop. The next point. I'm just clicking these along. And I'll just continue that, then I'll come back and do the arc. I tried a new idea, and I thought, what if I took one of these arcs and I selected it, exported it to CSQ, and saved that. And over here I did that, and I had to modify it a little bit. There's the modified version. And I thought, well, maybe this will work and I won't have to do all this clicking. So I made a new quilt group, and I'm going to show you. What I did was I measured down an inch from this point down here and an inch from this point down there, and I'm going to show you how this should work. I have the needle sitting right at the point that I want the arc to start. I have the needle sitting right there, or right there. You can see where the crosshair is. So that's where the needle is. And that's where I want this next arc to begin. So here's what I'll do. I'll just go to Repeat Patterns. I'm going to change my reference point to start point, and I'm just going to click. Now, I know that this end is going to be okay, so I'm going to select this arc, and I'm going to move my machine head so the needle is at the other end of where the arc should end, where it should stop sewing. I'm going to move it to that point, put the needle right there. Then I'll go back, and I'm going to change my anchors. I'm going to end anchor, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that right at that point, right there. And I'll zoom in where I can see, and I want to put that right where the needle is. Okay, now I should be okay, but I'm going to check something. Here is the center, and this is the previously quilted arc. Look how this arc appears to be exactly where I want it to be. That's just another little tidbit that you can use to do your quilting. And all I have to do now is stitch this out. Another idea we can use in doing all of this is I'm going to go to P2P line, and I'm going to click a point on the left side that's an inch below the last arc that was sewn, and I'm going to click that point. Now I'm going to go to a point that is in the center and an inch below the previous arc. Click point, click stop, click point. then go to the end of where this next arc is going to be, click a point, and then click stop. Now, again, I'm going to use Alt A. I have my end snap on. Snap to that point, it'll snap to that point, and it'll snap to that point. And I'm going to go in and delete the P2P line, delete the P2P line, and if I place the needle at the mark in the center, see the arc is right there. That is an easy way to do something like this. Now, what you want to do is not have a great deal of patterns going on your screen. Like here, it's difficult to select this once I get this much stuff going on. Okay,